Hey everybody, this is Doa, and today, as you can see, we're actually going to watch a game of me playing. This is going to be a new series that I'm going to do called Breaking the Caster Curse. One thing that's kind of started happening since I've started casting a lot is I've really started playing less. I've spent a lot more time watching replays and, watching other casts and things like that and casting myself. And I've noticed that my play has definitely gone downhill. Just to give you a little bit of background, I was at, I think it was rank 2 in my Platinum League way back when the game came out. I was playing Terran. I started casting a lot. I decided I wanted to play random to better understand the matchups, and my ranking understandably went way down. Whoa, what are you doing, Doa? Whoops. Accidentally almost sent all my SCVs to build that supply depot. That's great. Good start there. But anyway, so basically what I did is I dropped down to about rank 40 Platinum from playing random and not being very good at it. And then I kind of decided I was going to go back to Terran and just try to get into Diamond, because even though to me ladder ranking isn't too important, I kind of use the ladder, I guess, to sort of experiment and try things and kind of try to understand the game better rather than win. I'd still like to be in Diamond. I mean, it's kind of one of those things where even if you can cast pretty well, and I'd like to think I'm okay at casting at least, and even if your game sense is pretty good, people still kind of give you that extra little bit of respect for being in Diamond, even though it may not really mean that much in reality. So I'd like to get to Diamond. I prefer to get to be about maybe a 2,000-ish point Diamond, so kind of middle of the road. Pretty good at the game. I'm still going to concentrate on casting. That's really my passion, I guess. I have no interest in being a pro StarCraft 2 player. I just want to cast it. I love playing and I love casting. Oh no, SCV! Oh, that SCV was taken out, and that is my opponent, a vicious Zerg player named Legion, which is a pretty cool name for a Zerg player, I gotta say. And this game, I decided I would just try that 2 barracks early pressure that you see so much in the recent GSL. You see it a lot on the Korean server, and I'd never done it before, so I thought, you know what, this game I'm just going to try that 2 barracks opening. Never done it before, we're going to see how it goes. Looks like I was able to take out his drone there after he was trying to do a little bit of harassment with my SCV trying to build that barracks. And yeah, so that's basically the theme of this game. And we're going to watch my games, and ideally over time I'm going to progress and become a better player. That would be great, because I feel like I know a lot of things about the game. I know a lot of builds and things like that, or at least openings, and but when I actually play the game, that knowledge in my head doesn't quite translate to what my hands actually do, so I have to sync those two up, and I'm only going to be able to do that by playing more. So that's the goal. I'm going to play more. I'm going to get to Diamond on the ladder. Oh, and I also was going to say too, if you guys want to, my character code is 234, so if you want to add me, it's DOA234. If I'm online and I'm not doing anything else, send me a message. I'll play some games against you. If they end up being pretty cool games, I'll cast them. So yeah, if you want to play against Doa, add me DOA234. Interested to play against all people of all skill levels. If you're like a 3,000 point diamond and you just want to stomp on me for a while, that's fun too. I have some friends that are much better than me that I play with quite a bit. But yeah, going back to the game a little bit, you can see I'm getting some Marines out. I'm about ready to move out, bringing a couple SCVs, so not quite maybe bringing as many SCVs as you see a lot of the Korean players do in GSL and things like that, but just a couple of them to build some bunkers. In the meantime, I've got my other SCV up there, and as you can see, I'm not quite sure what to do with the extra minerals that you get, because I've only built 2 barracks, so I'm putting down a command center. I'm kind of winging it at this point after this 2 barracks, because like I said, I've never done it before. In a game I usually open up with either Cloaked Banshees or that 3 racks Marine Marauder stim pressure. So the first time for this, we see my SCV going in there. He's going to start a bunker right at the second a couple Zerglings come out. They will see it right away, and I think that SCV is probably going to go down. Looks like he does. My Marines come up, take out those 2 Zerglings, and I immediately send another SCV to continue building that bunker. I think I'm going to start a second one here too. So basically what I'm doing right now is I'm just trying to emulate what I've seen, other much better players do. Looks like I'm just outside of his range. He doesn't notice me doing this. That's pretty good for me. There's a little bit of a surprise coming up in this game. I'm not going to say what it is yet. He does send a Zergling in there now, and I believe he will see at least one of my bunkers. I'm going to leave the camera focused on me, so you're actually seeing what I was seeing in the game, just to kind of give it that first-person view. I'm putting up a 3rd bunker now. I'm going to sort of slowly try to bunker push into his base, I guess, which you can't even do over creep. So one thing I'm kind of surprised about at this point in the game, as I'm playing it, I'm really wondering why he doesn't have a second base yet. That seems a little bit suspicious to me, but then again, I am in kind of the mid-range platinum, so I'm not too surprised. But then I see this, and that seems like quite a few units to have, you know, at this early stage in the game is what I'm saying. I mean, either he doesn't have a lot of drones, or there's something else kind of funny going on. So I'm looking, and I'm seeing what looks like pretty good saturation on his main. In the meantime, I try to poke in with my Marines, do a little bit of damage, get forced back up against the wall. I don't know why I don't move those Marines into that other bunker. Kind of a silly move for me. Looks like these roaches go after that bunker, but I am able to kind of force them back a little bit. So I know something seems a little bit suspicious at this point. I decide to go ahead and take my natural anyway. As you can see, my minerals are already getting very, very high because, like I said, I'm not really quite sure what to do after I build those first two barracks, that is. So I put down 4 more barracks, or 2 more barracks rather. Gonna go into more of a heavy bio play. I do have 1 gas going now, just poking in with a couple Marines just to kind of bait him out, see what I can find. At this point, I probably should have pushed out with a few more Marines to see if I could do some sort of economic damage. I'm also going to be sort of critiquing what I'm doing and hopefully noticing things I could improve with that. As you can see, my natural's down, but I'm not really moving any SCVs over. I'm a little bit distracted with what's going on here. And yeah, so just moving in, and I see quite a few roaches, and again, that seems like a lot for 1 base. But so I'm a little bit suspicious, but at the same time I'm like, you know, I'm waiting for him to break me, you know, the bunkers and all that. So again, I'm just kind of winging it. This is not the best game ever for me anyway. He moves in with his roaches, as you can see, takes on that bunker very, very quickly. I still have a good amount of Marines. I decide to kind of pull back, then I decide to come back in. So you'll see me do things like that a lot because I'll move away and think, you know, well, I'll just be safe and pull back. And then my mind goes, well, what if you did move in? I wonder if I could win this fight. So that kind of goes back to me not really being focused on winning when I'm laddering and more kind of focused on, you know, just kind of trying things and learning about the game. I guess if I want to get into Diamond, I should probably focus a little bit more on winning, but as you can see, I'll do kind of weird things like that just because I'm kind of thinking, I wonder what would happen if I try this. And I guess I'm not afraid to try it. In the meantime, my rally point's still kind of set up there. I move some Marines back. I start to kind of gather things at the Zelnaga Tower, and I'm also getting stim right now, I believe, too. I've got some Marauders on the way. Yeah, I've got the 1 tech lab up because I saw the good amount of roaches. Now, what I'm starting to think here is I'm like, that was a lot of units for just being on 1 base. I'm going to send some Marines out to sort of check the other bases to see if there's anything there. You're going to see me doing that very shortly. I put down my factory. You know, again, my mineral's still very, very high because I'm kind of winging it. So whenever you go into something without a plan, your macro's not going to be very good unless you're like the tip top of players. And I definitely am not. So as you can see, my minerals, my macro's sleeping a little bit there. I put down 2 more tech labs. I'm going to start pumping out some more Marauders. You know, again, just kind of winging it. A couple more supply depots. They're getting a little bit blocked. And here's where I start to send out some Marines because I'm kind of thinking to myself, there's got to be another base somewhere. There's no way that, you know, he's staying on this, you know, 1 base for that long. There's always a chance that he's, you know, not a very good player at all, but I'm usually ending up being matched against usually low diamond, high platinum players. You know, I guess my ranking was a little bit higher, my hidden ranking or whatever was a little bit higher, and as you can see, I did find the hidden base there. He did put down a hidden base, and I went back and watched the replay, and he actually sent out that drone way at the start of the game to build that. As you can see, he's already got a lair there, already has a spire, and yeah, so I'm a little bit surprised with that. So I go in to take out this base almost immediately. As you can notice, something is happening down at the bottom of my base. What the Famutas down at my main? And yeah, so he did get a few mutas out, and I realized my SCVs are pretty much just going to be toast if I leave them there, so I decided to just kind of bring him up. Hey, why not? As soon as I take this base, I'm just going to go and attack him. So at this point, I'm kind of all in. This game has basically become kind of a crazy game that will really have not a whole lot of educational value for me anymore, so I decided to go, you know, let's just go all in, see if we can win it. I do take down his expansion there. The spire is dead as well. That's enough. I don't really need to take any more down at that space. In the meantime, his mutas are still attacking my main. I don't really care at this point because I'm kind of, you know, committed to being all in at this point anyway. He's going to go ahead and take down my command center. I decide to float this one away just because I'm like, hey, if I can save this command center, I can start to mule up, you know, and maybe push out some more Marines. I do have quite a big trust fund built up, so I'm doing okay there. As you can see, I put the SCVs in front to tank because I knew he'd have something there, and he only has a few roaches, not too huge of an army. So with stim and those Marine Marauders, I'm able to cut through that fairly easily. And now this is going to cause him to pull his mutas back out of my base too, which is kind of nice. So as you can see here, I'm in a pretty good position despite the game being completely weird. I do stim again just to take down all those drones. Not sure if that was really the best decision. I do manage to take out the queen as well. This base is pretty much going down. Mutas come in, and I turn to fire at them fairly quickly. With my Marines being a little bit low from stimming, he does take them out, manages to keep 4 Mutalisks alive, and barely keeps his main. So at this point I'm thinking, okay, what am I gonna do? Then I'm like, oh yeah, my macro is bad, I can just keep making units, hooray! And so that's what I do. I continue to make Marine Marauders. He's kind of chasing around with some of his drones. I leave my SCV there just to see if he rebuilds or not. Doesn't look like he is quite yet. So I start to gather outside my main. I decided to also do a little bit of scouting with the factory as well. As you can see, I sent it out there. I built the factory but never really ended up using it. This is kind of a crazy game. I lift off this command center again. Why did I do that? Oh, to get back into a better position, I guess. I'm probably going to start muling up pretty soon. And I do have a little bit extra minerals, so I'm going to start rebuilding my base. He finds my other command center. I have to lift it off again. I'm getting to the point where I've got enough units that I can probably just move in and kill him, because I know he doesn't have a whole lot right now. I killed all his drones at his main. So I'm thinking at this point really I've just been building Marines, so I figure, you know, I can easily take out those 4 mutas if they attack me. So at this point I think I've pretty much got this game in the bag, and a couple more roaches coming out there, kind of unfortunately for him, getting caught between my little armies there. And this is actually very frustrating for me, because I know I did not play that well, and I'm really only winning because I found that hidden expansion, and because he, you know, didn't have the chance to get out a lot of mutas. My macro was bad. I didn't really have a plan, which is why my macro is bad, but I'm gonna win anyway. And that's kind of one of the worst feelings for me, is winning a game even though I kind of feel like I don't deserve it. But hey, you know, a win is a win. On my quest to Diamond, I guess that's not so bad. So at this point the game is pretty much over. He's going to move in with his Mutalisks, but I've got more than enough Marines to take those out. As you can see, the Mutalisks are going down right now. I figured he probably didn't have enough to produce anything else. He says, lol, nice game. It was kind of a fun, kind of silly, entertaining game. I say ha GG, which I hope doesn't seem BM, because I was kind of laughing at this point, so I meant like haha, yeah, good game, that was kind of funny. So I added a smiley face in there just to let Legion know that I did enjoy this game of StarCraft with him, but secretly on the inside I was very frustrated. But yeah, so this is pretty much the end of the game. I think he's going to leave any second now, and yeah, so this is going to be kind of what you're going to see. Ideally a little bit better play than that. I think next game I cast, I'm ideally going to go for something a little bit more standard, but I played this ladder game, I think it was yesterday. It was the only one I played. I played it right before I went to bed, and I'm like, you know, I'm going to do this series, see how people react to it. You know, if you like it, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know. If you have any tips for my play that I may not have mentioned in this cast, you know, feel free to leave them in the comments. I mean, I don't mind criticism at all when it comes to that. Like I said, this is called Breaking the Caster Curse, which implies that I am under the Caster Curse right now, which I totally am. My play has slipped a lot because I've been casting so much, and I want to fix that. This is the start of that, so hope you guys like it. I'm still going to cast a lot of pro replays, of course, too. In fact, my work hours are shifting to give me all my evenings free starting on January 1st, so what we're going to see then is this every week, and then also at least 2 to 3 pro replays. So actually, there's going to be a lot more casting coming in the new year here. So yeah, not sure if I'm going to get out a whole lot more before Christmas. I'll try to get a couple casts up on the site. In the meantime, if you like what you saw here, subscribe. I can't imagine you like the play, but hopefully it's entertaining at least to you. In the meantime, yeah, again, this is Doa. Thanks for watching. Check me out as well on the rushnetwork.com, and yeah, keep playing StarCraft 2, guys. We'll see you on the next cast.